Welcome back to the continuation in our series, Getting to Know Cimatron Die Design. Also, if you haven't done so yet, we encourage you to view the previous videos in this series on forming and bending and on designing the strip. This video is a continuation of those two. Our subject today will be on custom die sets. We will look at the setup file again to see how to control that die set. And also we'll look at the automatic creation of punches with clearances. We will begin by adding a new die set. From our catalog of die sets, we can select a customizable die set. In this case, it will have the shoes, demountable posts and guide bushings. It will also have die steels and a stripper assembly. This allows for the creation of any sort of die set. It can be built to your particular shop standards and rules. It can also include unique, customizable components or components found in any standard catalog. In this case, we're going to locate the die set from the leading edge of the strip. You will note too that the die set comes in with material guides, all the assembly screws and dowels, as well as standoffs. At this point, we will go into Setup and take a look at the rules used for creating the die set. The length and width of both of the die shoes is based upon the strip. A relationship was used so that the shoe size would always be tied to the strip size. Standard sizes such as the thickness of the shoe can be placed in a pull-down list. In addition to this, setup will also allow for the use of relationships, formulas, the ability to create a pull-down list from a catalog, as well as inputting any desired value. Of note, too, the width of the stripper plate is defined by the width of the strip. Likewise, the location of the material guides, as they have a 1/16 of an inch clearance per side. So if the strip were different, then the location of those components and their widths would also be different. Here a relationship is used between the length of the die steel and the length of the stock guide. So by changing the length of the steel, the stock guide will automatically change to that length as well. This particular die set has two stripper assemblies. Another die set could be saved with one stripper assembly, no stripper assemblies, a bridge stripper. It's all a matter of what the preference is for the designer. A similar relationship was used between the retaining plates and the backup plates. Since the width and length of the die plates are being changed, when the die is regenerated, the location of assembly screws and dowel pins will likewise change. They're tied geometrically to the corners of each of the plates. This now takes us to creating the punches. From the guide, we will select the function Trimming Punch. Hereby selecting the main assembly, we will create the clearance holes in both the die half and punch half of the tool. Now we will select the punch faces that were created when doing the strip design. Each of these individual wire EDM punches will be automatically named and placed in the assembly. Here we set the distance that the punch will extend past the strip once the die is fully entered. Next, we will look at the punch clearances and make any adjustments as we see fit. These clearances were saved ahead of time in the setup. Also, we can look at any adjustments we want to make in the die steel. In this case, we're going to have 2 degrees of relief for a slug drop. On the left-hand side in the tree, you can see the punches as they're being created. This is also occurring while the clearance holes are being cut in each one of the plates. We can now examine the clearance holes that have been cut in each of the die plates by using Dynamic Section. On zooming in, we can see the punch is extended past the strip. We can see the pocket that the punch sits in. We can also see the relief angle that has been cut in the die steel. Thank you for taking the time to review our presentation today. And if you haven't yet done so, we encourage you to review the other videos in this series, Getting to Know Cimatron Die Design.